On Friday at 6 o'clock in the evening time, I was at home after the first week back to school, and I received a phone call from David, the technician over at the junior high school, to say that there was a fire at Harrison, and he went on to say, you know, it's in your wee hut. And I really didn't know what he was, you know, it just didn't register immediately. What does he mean? He said, in our forest, and he said, you know, the fire brigade are here, it's nearly out, it's okay. As I was coming around the corner, I thought, what am I going to see? What's going to meet me? And coming around, I could see the 2 fire engines, and I could just see black. Just this whole area where our beautiful shelter that had been purpose built and really just meant so much to us, because there were so many stories behind the building of the shelter. It was just complete. It was just black, and the smell of the burning, and you could still see the fire brigade were still using water on the fire to dull it down. You could still see that there was some heat in the fire, and it was just, to me, it felt like someone was robbing me of my life's work, because this forest is something that I started as soon as I came here to Lurgan. So I started working in Lurgan as the principal of Harrison Nursery School just under 20 years ago, and we put the trees in very soon after I started. In fact, the board officer who put the trees in called today at lunchtime, and we were talking about the trees being put in, and I have to say I am truly grateful because the Blue Watch of Lurgan Fire Brigade were here so quickly. They really have saved our trees. The rapid response meant that it stopped the trees catching fire. So the trees are scorched, but the trees will most definitely come back. But our shelter's gone. The shelter was created by the staff crafting all through a winter time, and we sold the crafts to raise the money for the shelter. So with our crafts we raised £1,000, and that paid for the wood. And my cousin, Red Odgers, who is a very well-known character around the birches outside Portadown, Red spent a Christmas holiday building the shelter, and the shelter has provided us with so many wonderful opportunities to be here with the children in all sorts of weather. It was a beautiful wooden structure. It had a lovely tin roof. We had guttering on it, and it collected the water so that the children had water over here to mix and make potions and make lots of mess, just like children should be doing. And I was just devastated at the scene in front of me, and I was extremely emotional on Friday night, and I explained to the fire crew, I thanked the fire crew for their rapid response, and I explained to them, I apologised for my heightened emotional state, because this area means so much to me. It wasn't here whenever I started in Lurgan, and I have developed that it's what I want to leave sort of as my legacy to Lurgan whenever I retire from here one day along the way. But it's not just trees, and it's not just wood. It's so much more than that, and it holds so many memories for myself and for the staff. The beautiful reading chair was gifted to me by a daddy. I taught both his children, and we actually had just brought the chair back here to the forest for the start of the new term. The table in the middle where they think the fire started was actually made with the children in June. We used hammers and saws, and I even wrecked my husband's drill. And so So the table provided war wounds as well as lots of memories. And actually one of the parents from last year sent a message to say, oh, the table that the children made. You know, so everything has a story. And yes, it's, you know, it has a monetary value, but it is irreplaceable. The items that we have been robbed of are just, they're just irreplaceable. So on Friday, I was extremely upset. I was very grateful to the fire brigade and very grateful to the PSNI. They also are, you know, investigating, and they had crew here on the Friday night and again on the Saturday. So and they have CCTV footage, and they have also taken DNA. So it is being rigorously investigated by the police service, and the community officer was back here on Saturday afternoon to see how things were and to offer their support as well. So on Friday, one of my staff here with me suggested we contacted Carla Lockhart to share our story with her, and Carla just took over with that whole social media side, because I was dealing with the police and the fire brigade. And I'm very grateful to her for setting up a Just Giving page and for sharing our story with the community, because the community of Lurgan and far beyond have just, you know, they have rallied and they have contacted me privately. They've contacted, there's lots of contact has been through Facebook posts, but the amount of love that I'm feeling back from the community is just so substantial, and the giving on the Just Giving page is just so generous, and I thank everybody so much for doing that. Really grateful. Brownlow House have also pledged money. Glenavon Football Club are allowing us to go and do a bucket collection on the 8th of October. I don't think I've ever been at a football match in my life, so I'm looking forward to this new experience. But I'm very grateful to Eddie for coming forward and suggesting that, and really appreciate his support with it. And then, like, going forward on Saturday, I knew that as soon as the police were finished with this scene, I needed to make it usable, because I am not going to be beaten, and my children are not going to be disadvantaged. They are going to have the best experience that I can provide for them. And so on Saturday, the clean-up operation started, and I have some very good friends who literally came on board with a simple phone call. And Peter McKinney got a lend of a trailer from Richard, who owns a motorworks, RJ Motorworks, and Peter came with all his tools, and along with Kerry Geddes and her son Morgan and Kate Ball, we started to dismantle the shelter, and it was extremely emotional taking it down. It was really emotional seeing it all come down. And as we were taking it down, we started to save all the screws and the bolts, and we have the screws and bolts saved. And I contacted Mr. McCallum from Lurgan College over the weekend, and suggested maybe that his art club would like to do a project with them, in the hope to show that from that devastation we have returned and have been able to come back. And I suppose probably as a reminder to me of what, reminder to my whole staff, to all of us, what we have come through. And we will not be defeated by the culprits, who are by the young. It looks to have been youths who have deliberately started the fire in our forest, and they need our help. They need our help as much as I need the help, because they need support, they need direction, and they need to understand that their actions have consequences. And I appeal to the youth. I appeal to the youth of Lurgan, I appeal to the youth of our communities. If your friends are doing things that they should not be doing, if you think that is not a good idea, stand up to them and tell them it is not a good idea. It is not a good idea to light a fire in a little forest where children come to play. If they're doing something, tell your friends to stop. Tell them to think about the consequences, because the consequences of this event have been so far reaching, and they have had a massive impact on my staff, on the children this year, and even for the children of previous years who have looked at the photographs. They have been upset by seeing what has happened, because this place holds so many precious and special memories for them. So Saturday was a really busy day, and with lots of hard physical work, and maybe that's just what I needed after what had happened. But then very kindly the Norman Emerson group donated a large bag of bark. Our school photographer, Dougie from Cool for School, got his trailer and jeep and brought it here, and we have covered the burnt space with bark, and we've moved things around as best we can. Very kindly the manager of Pollock Place Chip Shop came just an hour ago and put up this little bit of screening, because our hedge behind us is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Wayne from Mornspar Road has very kindly donated 2 lovely picnic benches for the children to use, and I have so many offers of help. ATS Trusses in Portadown have offered the trusses for the new shelter. A daddy of one of the little girls I have this year, Carl, has said he will help with the tin for the roof. I have offers of labour through a builder, Stephen Archer. I have offers of labour even from the community police service. They have offered to come and help as well. And the wood, I have another past daddy who has offered to help me to source the wood at the best price possible. And so, like, the help just keeps coming, and it is mending my broken heart, because on Friday night my heart was broken, and all this help and support is mending this. It's mending so much, and it's just showing the wonderful community spirit that we have in Lurgan, and I commend the Lurgan people on that, and I thank them for it, because I appreciate every message. I appreciate every offer of help. Thank you very, very much, because this is about the children. I did not want the children to see the devastation. They did not need to see the devastation, and we achieved that on Friday, and I couldn't achieve that on my own. I needed others to come on board to do that with me, and I really, really appreciate that. As well as that, on a Sunday I preach in the Church of Ireland, and one of the churches I preached in yesterday have offered to do a table quiz, so it's even reaching beyond the Lurgan community. In Bestbrook they're having a table quiz to raise funds to help us as well. So thank you to everybody who has offered help. I appreciate it all. My staff appreciate it, and it will make a positive impact on the children this year and the children in years to come attending Harrison Nursery School. So thank you.